Here's an overview basically of everything that will be included in the digital IDs. This can be found on the WEF website and also on all of the provincial and government websites. You will have healthcare. You will not be able to access any healthcare without this digital ID. Financial system. You will actually not even be able to carry out bank accounts or carry out anything online regarding financial transactions. Food and sustainability. This says for farmers and consumers, you will not be able to get into stores. You will not be able to even sell anywhere. Once they have this system in place, this is where the digital currency will come in. Travel and mobility. We saw that with the Arrive scam app. Humanitarian responses, which is basically just garbage. It's in case something happens, they will be able to track and find you, including if you don't want anything injected in your body. E-commerce. You will not be able to shop online. Then you have social media platforms. You will literally need this ID in order to get TikTok, Twitter, or Facebook. No more fake accounts. You have e-government. So if you want your taxes done, any sort of benefits from there, you will need this. Then it gets even scarier. Telecommunications. You will not be able to actually get an internet provider without this digital ID, and they will be able to track you. And then up there you have smart cities, and we all know what those are. Those of you who think I'm lying, here's the federal condition. In order for us to access our money, our tax money, this is basically a hostage situation of our tax money. And what you will see is instigators, government instigators under Twitter, under Justin Trudeau, that basically say we need to push our provincial governments to, get the money so that we can spend it better. No, we don't. We actually need to call our provincial governments right now, today and tomorrow, and every single day until they scrap this digital ID. They cannot pass this without.
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Yahweh is the true name of the God of Israel. Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and only true name is Yahushai. And pretty much, you saw a clip from the brother Yawanathan, for the main camp. And, I encourage you to subscribe to his channel. He does good videos, a lot of end-time prophecy, all fields. But that's a very important video every Israelite needs to watch, because, people know that the RFID chip implant is the mark of the beast, but they can't really explain to you how everything is tying together under this new world order, one world government system they try to create. So right now, what we're seeing, according to all these different economies, is what? Economic collapse, or global economic collapse, in order to usher in a new system. And that would be the point of a black swan event, which more than likely is definitely going to be a cyber attack on the banking system, all right, to cause a meltdown in the markets and to crash this current system. So now when the system reboots or comes back on, now there's a new system in place concerning CBDCs. So all of you people, you like to use cryptocurrency, really cryptocurrency concerning Bitcoin was a trap to get you onto the blockchain network so that all of your assets, it could be converted into digital tokens, which is going to be the CBDC, the central bank digital currency. So as you can see, concerning the hour of temptation, that time period is fastly approaching us. And if you want to participate in this society on any level, using the internet, earning revenue, whether you be an entrepreneur or a 9-to-5 working person, CEO, all status, the scriptures is clear, which I'm going to read it. He calls of all. So everybody is going to be tempted. Why? Because you're going to need this chip to do absolutely everything. And concerning CBDCs, the CBDC, which is a currency created directly from the central bankers, which are the Rothschilds, right? Edomites, according to the Bible. It's all about what? Programmable money, digital money that they can control and track you through the blockchain network. All right. So this programmable money is going to be put on a device, and it's going to be made mandatory throughout the four corners of the earth. And if you want to travel, if you want to do anything in this society, you're going to need this chip when the time comes. All right. So I'm going to get into the scriptures. NLT version, this is Revelation 3:10. It says, because you have obeyed my command to persevere. You as an Israelite coming into this truth, you need to understand that this truth is only meant for the elect of the nation of Israel. Pursuant to Romans 11:7, Revelation the 7th chapter, the scriptures is clear. It talks about the elect. Why? Because not every Israelite is going to receive salvation. The only ones that's going to receive salvation, pursuant to Ephesians the 1st chapter, is the ones that was predestinated before the world was even created. The first fruits, the first spirits created by Yahweh through the command of Yahweh. All right. And the scriptures, it gives you the characteristics of the elect. All right. The elect will be faithful unto death. They will deny the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip implant, no matter what persecution, trials, or tribulations they are faced with. All right. They will be able to overcome through the blood and sacrifice of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. So when you coming into this truth, especially as an Israelite man, a so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, man, we focusing on the men. Your job is to soak up this word, tune into the live streams, watch Great Millstone, brothers' videos, take notes, and then pray and grow in the spirit. And then pray to the Lord that you could become a teacher or a help or something that's beneficial for this ministry of pushing forth the correct gospel and doctrine in a world full of lies. All right. Because those actions through faith is going to make you wise unto salvation through Yahweh. All right. So when you look at this word persevere, right? Let's see what the word means. Word persevere, NLT, Revelation 3:10. It says continue in the course of action. What's the course of action? Spreading the gospel. The scriptures tell you, Matthew the 24th chapter, that this gospel is going to be preached unto the ends of the world. And then, meaning after, then all hell is going to break loose. Then the end is going to come in the form of Jacob's trouble, which is going to lead in to the hour of temptation when they make that chip mandatory. And what's going to happen after that? The destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America, by thermonuclear missiles, right? So when brothers come into this truth, you have to understand you're going to take a lot of L's. You're going to go through things. You might feel justified, but never justify yourself. Let Yahweh and Yahweh justify you, and you endure hardness as a good soldier, like the scriptures say. So expect a lot of L's when you come into this truth, but ultimately through Yahweh, you're going to be able to overcome whatever adversity you're faced with, right? Even in the face of difficulty or with little or no prospect of success, right? It says, I will protect you from the great time of testing. So through Yahweh, he's going to give us a stable mind and that gift of faith on a higher level in that time to what? Reject the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip implant. And you could clearly see all the different changes, everything that's being talked about, the World Economic Forum, all these different elites or globalists, as they call them. You can see how everything is tying in with one another. And then the cherry on top is going to be what? That chip to tie everything together, to merge you to this new cashless digital society, right? So that great time of testing is when the chip is made mandatory. That will come upon the whole world. All countries have central banks in them, all right? When you're dealing with the RFID chip implant, this deals with what? A new system, a new centralized system that's coming from the central bankers, all right? So it says to test those who belong to the world. So all countries have central banks in them. All countries is implementing a central bank digital currency. That's programmable money. You can put that on a device and make it mandatory. That's what they plan to do. All right. They're going to control the currency and then they're going to put it on the chip. And you're not going to have any other option of using any form of currency to buy or sell, least at that time, right? The hour of temptation, you get that chip implant and you consent to it. All right. So us as the prophets, we telling you to reject that, because everybody's going to have a choice. Will you consent and say, yes, I'll bow down under your new world order system and receive this mark in order for me to buy and sell, feed my family? All right. Or will you do the correct thing, which is to deny that chip implant when it's made mandatory, even if you face with death? All right. So the ones that belong to this world, the TikTokers and people that love to travel frequently, right? They love the internet. They love earning online revenue. You like to go out and party all the time, right? Those are going to be people that take the chip, just like how they took the JEB, during the disease outbreak in 2020 on down. So if you fold it under that pressure, you're definitely going to fold when this is made mandatory. All right. Now let's keep going. Now this is Revelation chapter 13. Revelation 13. And I'll start at 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Why? Because just like how it was the Romans came back into rulership during the Renaissance era. All right. So it says unto the image of the beast, which the image of the beast, it goes back to the ancient Roman Empire, how they ran their system and governed the people. But now here in America, as well as the European Union, they adopt the same traditions as the Romans. All right. So this system is based off of the ancient Roman Empire. That's why so many different similarities. All right. But ultimately, the image of the beast is the New World Order in this lifetime, which part of that New World Order is to what? Get you to take a chip. So it says, unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. It's speaking right now. They're getting ready to implement a central bank digital currency here in America and all around the world for the purpose of what? Control. So that they can put that on a device and make it mandatory and have absolute power over your life by controlling what? Finances, business, the money supply, right? So it says, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast, right? The ones that say F the New World Order, right? I'm not taking your chip. It says should be killed. And they have different executive orders. Project Megiddo, right? The King Alpha plan, known as Rex 84. They have a lot of different agendas that deal with what? Killing people or really murdering people that don't consent to taking this chip and bowing down to their system, right? It says verse 16, and he calls of all. Who's the he that calls of all? The central bankers, but more importantly, the Rothschilds, all right? That's exposed them for who they truly are. Because a lot of you people, you like to say shadow government, globalists. No, be straight up and direct. Say who you're talking about. This is their agenda, all right? Which you got a lot of elites that's under the Rothschilds, because the Rothschilds is the overlords, all right, over all these countries, right? But ultimately, this is their agenda of the 2030 agenda, the New World Order, right? So they're going to make this mandatory. This is coming very soon. It says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So every individual in society of all status, right? It says to receive. Now, you got Israelite camps out here teaching false doctrine. I'm talking about Israelite camps outside of Great Millstone. They teaching you that the mark of the beast, oh, it's a spiritual mark. Then they try to link it up with Ezekiel 9:4, which the word mark in Ezekiel 9:4 is different than Revelation 13:16. Now, when you go into this word receive in Revelation 13:16, the Greek word is what? Didome. And it says what? To give something to someone, right? Meaning it's physical, like you hand somebody a gift. It's like an even exchange, right? It says of one's own accord to give one something to his advantage. What's the advantage of giving or making mandatory the RFID chip implant that's going to have that central bank digital currency over it? For the purpose of control and becoming a god through their technology, all right? Because they're trying to imitate or mimic the Most High, the angels, the order of the heavens through their low-level technology, all right? So the so-called white man, beginning with the Rothschilds, they're trying to be gods on earth through their technology. And in the process, they want all people of all kinds all over the world to worship them as a god, and for us Israelites to reject the Heavenly Father and his Son. by receiving that chip. That's what they want. All right. They want the Lord to do away with Israel so that they could get their birthright back. But they're not going to get it back. They already rejected. All right. So this mark of the beast is physical. And then it says M-A-R-K. Receive a M-A-R-K. Right. Now the word for mark in the Greek is what? Charagma. Now when you go into these different words, this is letting you know or explaining John's vision a little bit more deeper. So you can have an understanding that, oh, the mark of the beast is a future prophecy. This is meant to happen in the future because this was never an event in the past where they made something of this effect mandatory through the four corners of the earth. That never happened before. All right. So it says an imprinted mark, something that's imprinted. That means what? It's a subdermal implant. It goes underneath your skin. It's an incision, right? So this is going into what? The RFID chip implant procedure, how it's done. So this is what John seen. And he had to describe it according to the vocabulary he had at his time, which is why it's in the Greek in the first place, right? When you go into the root word of charagma, the Greek word is charax. And it's going to say what? A pale steak or palicide. Now, according to John's vision, what is this referring to? The syringe that's used to inject the RFID chip implant, making it what? An imprinted mark. Now, when you take it a step deeper, right? The final definition, right? Charax, charagma, charax, and now grapho. What does grapho mean? It means to store information on a specific type of material. What material? The chip. You're going to need this for everything. And this is why the scriptures refer to it as the hour of temptation. This is why the EU nations, they're saying what? We need a global digital ID. They keep talking about this. They keep bringing it up. What do you think that global digital ID is? It is the mark of the beast, the RFID chip implant. All right. So you're not going to be able to do absolutely nothing. So now let's go back. So it says, give me a second. It says in their right hand, your literal right hand. It could also apply to the left or anywhere in your body, right? Or in their foreheads. And you got Elon Musk through Neuralink and different companies pushing forth for BCI implants, all right? Brain chip implants that would be in your forehead, right? To control the nerves in your body. So it says, and here's the kicker, and that no man, this is worldwide. Like I said, all countries have a central bank in them. The goal right now is to ban cash, do away with commercial banks so that every country only has one true central bank left. All right? Because that's the point. The commercial banks is the middleman between the central bankers and the regular people in society. So they don't need that no more. Why? Because that's the old system. Now they implementing a new system. It says that no man worldwide, right? All countries got central banks in them. It says might buy or sell. When you're dealing with buying or selling, you're dealing with what? Physical exchange. You're dealing with currency. But here's the kicker. Save he that had the mark. So the currency is going to be on the mark. That's why you're not going to be able to buy or sell, at least you have the chip implant. All right? And this is why the Bible refers to it as the hour of temptation. This is very serious. When this is made mandatory, say no, no matter what you face with. And be faithful unto Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You Israelites that's in this truth. Because Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, they are our gods. All right, that's what we worship. We're not worshiping no white man. All right, so-called white men, the Edomites. It says, yep, that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So now let's keep it going. Because the ones of you that received this chip, you're going to develop a cancer in your hand, all right, because of the radiation. This is Revelation 16 at verse 2. It says, and the first went and poured out his veil upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore. Now, when you go into this word sore, right, let's see what the Greek word for sore is in Revelation 16 and 2.
Strong's G 1668, Helkos. Helkos.
Let's see what that says. This is referring to the individuals that willingly receive the RFID chip implant, because all of us is going to have to make a choice. All right. Will you consent or not consent? it says a wound, right? Because it's an imprinted mark. The syringe is puncturing your flesh, which is irritating your skin, and now it's injecting a radio frequency device that has negative effects on the body, right? It says a wound producing a discharged pus, so like a cancer, all right? So all of you people that receive this chip, you will die. No matter where you at in the world, you will die because that's what's written. And the ones of you here in America, which is Babylon the Great, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, along with you heathen that's here, you're going to die here in America, either by nuclear fire or from this cancer, all right? It says a sore or an you clear, all right? I think that's what it says, all right? You see how it's spelled there. So now let's go back. It says, grievous sore upon the men worldwide, our temptation shall come upon all the world, which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image, which is his new world order, his 2030 agenda, right? Now let's end it with this. This is Revelation 14:9 on down. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man, this is worldwide, if any man worship the beast, right, referring to the so-called white man, the Edomites, right, and his image, his new world order, he has a cashless digital society he wants to implement worldwide, right? It says, and receive his mark, the chip implant, whether it be in the head or the hand. It says in his forehead or in his hand. Notice how the scripture, it doesn't say right hand. It says hand. So you can have it in your left hand or right hand. And as I'm going to read in the 10th verse, it's the same judgment, all right? Because you're receiving it. You're consenting and you're saying, yes, I'll bow down to your system so that I can buy and sell and sacrifice my liberty, right? It says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation means righteous anger. Why is the Most High righteous for destroying you? Because you was told by the mouth of the prophets, don't receive this chip implant. The Most High is going to reject you. You're going to end up dying by nuclear missiles. And then you fold under pressure. The temptation part. Everybody's going to fail this test, all right? The ones of you that's not a part of the elect, all of you are going to fail this test. So this is what's going to happen to you. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, the nuclear missiles, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, because Babylon the Great, which is America, is prophesied to be hit by nuclear missiles, all right? And what's going to happen to this landmass of North America is going to become a lake of fire. And you're going to have different sections of the world that's hit by nuclear missiles. But ultimately, this scripture right here is referring to Babylon the Great. So it's going to be hit by a lot of missiles, and the smoke is going to ascend up for a long period of time. All right. And then once the smoke settles, pursuant to Revelation 18:2, North America will become a desert. All right. And the surrounding waters around it is going to dry up. And you're going to have different desert creatures dwelling here, different scavengers. It says, continuing on, up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right, so hey man, you've been warned. You know, they're getting ready to roll this out, maybe during the next, major event. You know, who knows, but it's very soon. We close. So Lord willing, he was edified through the Spirit. Shalom.